Hello, it's your boy who tested positive this week. Hello there. I got a week off work because of this, so I got a little bit more time than usual, so I can fit this into my schedule. I'm able enough to record videos. I don't feel that weak or anything. Just cough, sneeze, temperature. It's not nice, but I'm still able to do things at home since I can't leave the house now. But unluckiest bounce in AFL history. We reacted to a video from this channel before. Which one was it? It was the GWS Giants one. It was the kick that potentially cost the Giants the flag. Where is it? Where's the video? Yeah, that one. We did that reaction a few months ago. This is quite a recent video as well. We did it like a month or two ago. And you guys requested some reactions from this channel, including the unluckiest bounce in AFL history. I know what bounce this is. I'm sure you know what bounce this is. It really is the unluckiest bounce. So there's a 15-minute video on it. So there must be more to it than just a bounce. But we shall see. I guess we'll see like a scenario of how things could have turned out, or based on the previous video I reacted to. But yeah, or it's just a revisit. We'll see. But apparently it's a good video. So let's react to it. It might not be the whole reaction. I think it might be better because it's like an informational video that obviously he's going to tell you the story, narrative, etc. So half of it's just going to be me sitting there saying nothing. So I feel like if I edit this one down, it'll be a better video. But anyway, let's react to it and let's see how this went down.
He's belting the ball forward. Johnson quickly off the mark.
How unlucky can you get? Like,
what ifs are potentially the most interesting aspects of sport. Speculating about parts of sport that might have been different and the trickle down these events could have inspired is a captivating pastime. 25th of September 2010 at approximately 4:45 PM, a wayward kick from Lenny Hayes sent a Sharon bouncing towards an eager Stephen Milne, poised to kick the Saints onto their first premiership in 44 years. Except he didn't.
It's been a while.
St Kilda lost and became one of the most...
They still haven't won it.
If St Kilda lift that cup, the team most likely stays together for another few runs, and the Saints could have been a dynasty, hoisted into the conversation of the greatest teams of the 21st century.
They've only won it like once, right?
Football gods decided to send that...
They got to 2 grand finals in that period too.
And Collingwood regained their long-lost place as the best team in the competition. Relative to the Big Four, the Saints have a small but passionate following that have been largely starved for success. It even says so on the website. Despite this, they remain as one of the oldest clubs in the AFL. After the move to
they've been around a while.
The mighty Saints went to the top of the comp for the first and sadly only time in 1966.
Yeah, just one flag.
An up and down roller coaster.
1966, that's an interesting year.
And then
that was England's only World Cup in
resurgence.
A different sport, of course.
Drafting well again with Brendan Goddard and Luke Ball. When Grant Thomas took the helm in 2004, it could be argued there that the premiership window was finally back open for the red, white and black. But ultimately they fell short in the prelim to the eventual premiers Port Adelaide.
Only by a goal as well.
Ironically, the Saints' own fans who lost the game.
That was a good Port team though, in fairness.
In 2005, hilariously identical result. Garrick for the Coleman again. Another top 4 finish and a prelim defeat at the hands of the eventual premiers, this time Sydney. With another finals loss in 06, Grant Thomas was famously shown the door.
They were close more often than I thought they were.
And here's where the real story begins. The wiry Fitzroy boy who looked as old as he does now 20 years ago beat 52 other potential candidates to take the St Kilda job in 2007. And when Ross Lyon got hold of the most potential rich list in the competition, the Saints were serious. Although they kind of weren't. Despite Ross Lyon eventually being heralded as an incredible coach, it's easily forgotten how terribly slow the Saints were to adjust to Lyon's defensive playstyle. See, in a world where premierships were being won with high-scoring shootouts and fast connection footy on the wings, Ross Lyon was criticised for flooding, essentially setting all 18 players on the field to apply defensive pressure on the footy, a high-risk, high-reward game style that trapped the ball and the flow of the game and ended in some low scores. What the AFL community didn't understand is that Ross the Boss was developing an incredible brand of football that would even give a forward-heavy team a massive defensive advantage. But the Saints didn't really take to it. In their defence,
Some things take
injuries tore
time
them apart in 07, but nonetheless
to adapt.
they managed to swing off a pre-season NAB Cup win, which for some reason was a massive deal back then. The Moorabbin boys would have a shaky showing in the early half.
This sounds like a dig.
Consistently outside the top 8.
It is pre-season, to be fair.
Before a massive back half of the year shot them into the top 4, culminated with a 105-point demolition of the Bombers.
Always the Bombers involved in smashings, whether they're the winners or not.
Themselves facing minor premiers Geelong, who had come as close to being undefeated as you possibly could, losing one game all year. And understandably, the Saints got their teeth kicked in.
Speaking of smashings,
getting rid of Collingwood next week by 34 in the semi would be the last hurrah, as they sent club champion and record St Kilda Games holder Robert Harvey off with a loss to the eventual premiers Hawthorn.
Yes!
In what was developing into
Go
a
Hawks!
final curse. But it would be the following 2 years where the Saints would
like, I
play
knew
their
about,
best
I mean,
show yet.
I'm sure I've seen those
2009
games,
was the
but
club's best ever home and away
I knew
season,
about their grand
racking
final losses in 09 and
19
010.
wins,
I didn't realise
by
that
Essendon
they'd also
and
lost quite a few prelims just before.
Finishing 2 games clear on top, St Kilda claimed the minor premiership. Notably along the way was the Battle of the Undefeated, where eventual grand finalists Saints and Cats competed in a round 14 spectacle, finishing with Michael Gardner's career highlight, coming from absolutely...
I think I might have seen this game.
Sending the red, white and black...
Just can't quite recall it. Beautiful mark. Unfortunately, the grand final wasn't the same.
Yet another prelim for the decade, although this time things were different. In what would prove to be an all-time penultimate match with an absolute arm wrestle with the Bulldogs all the way until some Rui magic off the ground emotionally destroyed the entire western suburbs of Melbourne and sent the Saints through to the grand final after so much heartbreak.
Finally broke the curse just to get another curse afterwards.
But in a cruel twist of fate from round 14, the true heartbreak was yet to come. People seem to forget the Saints when discussing that era, but the Saints were so good. Insane defensive pressure, and the goal kickers from every part of the ground.
People don't remember second place as much, I guess.
Most members they'd ever acquired, they continued on their way. Not quite on par with their dominance of the previous year, but enough to clinch third spot. Most of it without Nick Riewoldt, who went down with a nasty injury. This time, the Saints managed to pip the Cats in the qualifying final, somewhat avenging their defeat the year prior.
Wait, so they lost to the Cats in the grand final, then beat them in a finals game the year after. But in 09 they beat Collingwood in a final and then lost to them in the grand final.
The Bulldogs once again,
That's
while the last legs is a competitive side. Coming from third,
I've discovered a
the Saints set up
statistic.
second grand final
It's another curse.
This time against a Pies side appropriately loved and hated equally by the general public. Interestingly, this was the first grand final with 2 Melbourne-based teams since 2000 and drew an appropriate crowd of over 100,000. The teams had split the season series, but the general consensus was that Collingwood was set for a field day, and nobody expected what was to come over the next few hours.
They did have a field day the next
Match
week,
got
in
underway
fairness.
and was broadcast in 3D for some reason.
Very
It took
heartbreaking
just
for the
24
Saints.
seconds for the Pies to get on the board by way of a team goal commonly seen from that group, finished off by Darren Jolly. But from there, it was a first quarter arm wrestle.
Those fans
The Pies
there had
taking
no
a
idea at
6-point
that point
lead.
they're about to see one of the greatest games ever.
There was a mutual understanding that Collingwood chants would ring out on the G, and the Saints fans would have to see another opportunity at glory go to waste.
They were behind for a lot of the game
But the Saints
as well.
weren't done.
Saints.
They won clearances.
They had to
And
fight
Murray scored an
back.
incredible goal
They had to
from
claw it
the
back.
St Kilda coast-to-coast play. Goddard followed suit, and the big St Kilda side kept the Pies scoreless and rode a Sam Gilbert goal into the final change, setting the stage for a fourth quarter held in folklore forever. A locked quarter for
Did they
5
ever
minutes
take the
of play
lead?
Set up an insane Leon Davis snap, but not to be outdone, Lenny Hayes launched one from
They didn't,
behind
did
the
they?
arc, and Stephen Milne put one through to bring the Saints back to within.
It would have been so Collingwood to lose that
Set the
game.
stage with
They almost
7.5
did.
minutes to go for the goosebump-inducing Brendan Goddard mark.
Belting forward,
No, they did lead. They
It's
did
probably
lead. Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah. They
enough
did
for
lead.
talking about great grand final moments. The quality of the leap, the weight of the succeeding goal, and the emotion of the moment as a fired-up Goddard high-fived his teammates with a chorus of thousands of St Kilda faithful overcome with the prospect that their time in the darkness might finally be over.
Years go by and months go by, and then a few of the guys actually admitted at that point they thought we'd won the grand final. So it's probably not a good
7 minutes.
5 minutes of footy to be played. So
And in accordance,
Can't be saying that, man.
Together another masterful Mick Malthouse special along the wing, and Cloak finished off with a goal to hit the front. Again, set the stage. This time for the unluckiest bounce in AFL history.
I know. I know.
Belting the ball forward. Johnson quickly off the mark. Milne with a best.
This is actually ridiculous, though.
Scores a level.
Like how unlucky
Lee
is
Matthews
that?
said upon reflection that Stephen Milne should have attacked the ball harder and covered the bounce. And in a play scarily similar to the point that won the Saints the flag in 1966, is something that presumably has been keeping people up at night for 10 years now. Looking at the play, it seems to indicate that Milne actually
Imagine being there
anticipated the
live.
bounce well, and appears not to react accordingly when the ball darts to the right angle, considering how much space was between him and the goal. Many have speculated what Milne was thinking, whether he thought a point was satisfying enough for a Saints victory,
I think
or
he
whether
just
genuinely
panicked.
thought it was out of reach. And it's a torture.
It doesn't look like he panicked, but I think he did.
To consider the prospect of Milne collecting the pickup,
He wasn't sure what to do.
and holding on for a flag. Rewalt would have collected that elusive premiership. Hayes would have won an all-time Norm Smith with a ridiculous stat line, and Ross Lyon would have gone down as one of the great coaches of all time. On the flip
But
side,
it
Collingwood
didn't
would have
happen.
added to their comical amount of lost grand finals and would have wasted an incredible list.
They've
Who
still
knows,
lost the
that
most.
Saints team, rejuvenated by the taste of a flag, may have stuck around, and we might have seen dynasty, having knock-on effects on the outcome of the Hawks three-peat and other such successes. Instead, the game played out 68 apiece in the most stunning circumstances and imagery. Although admittedly sad for players and fans, it was an incredible spectacle. Seeing 44 guys go to war, as Nick Maxwell put it, with everything on the line, every player physically and mentally drained, to have to come back and do it again next week was absolutely mesmerizing.
And to get smashed as well by
The emotions
Collingwood.
of the players were
From Saints' perspective. Can you imagine if the extra time rule was on this game? What would have happened if they had extra time in 2010? I guess we'll never know. Okay, I thought this would kind of be, I mean, it kind of was, but I thought it would go more into, like, what if it went in, like, what if St Kilda won, but yeah, it's still a good video. There's still a minute left, though, so let me just see if there's anything else.
The following years were cruel to the Saints. Ross Lyon went to Freo, Rui, Lenny, Milne, Montagna, and a smattering of other players retired in the following years, culminating in a wooden spoon just 4 years later. The Saints' premiership window, with an incredible group, all seemingly hitting their stride, somehow slammed shut out of nowhere.
Those players could have ended their careers on such a high as well.
This dramatic fall-off is what led the Stephen Milne bounce to become such a talking point. People don't talk about Tim Duncan's missed shot in the 2013 NBA Finals because the Spurs avenged their choke in 2014.
Well, I don't, because I didn't watch it.
This late 2000s Saints side was so dangerous that they were impossible not to get behind as a team that wasn't commonplace at the top of the AFL. And people very commonly forget just how good they were.
He has got a
But
point though.
despite all
If they won a
that,
flag
it was the
afterwards,
bounce of the
like
shell
2011,
that
2012,
chose
whatever,
fate for St Kilda in
then, you know,
2010. One that left everyone
people would have
asking for years to come.
put them on a higher pedestal. Whew, well, they could have been, I don't know, they could have been the Western Bulldogs of the 2010s. Is that fair? I don't know if that's a fair comparison. But yeah, I'm just referring to how there's a long drought. There still is a drought, and if they had a very good team, if they had won a flag, then you never know. You know, could have been looking at them as one of the good teams. That was a good video, and that 15 minutes just went by. It didn't feel like 15 minutes. It felt like a lot less. But yeah, this guy makes some good videos. I don't know why I'm not subbed to him, to be honest. He makes some good videos. I've only seen 2 videos of him, but he makes some good videos. That's what I will say. Yeah, it's good. Good recommendations. I think I didn't actually write them down. I normally do write requests down, but I think there was, yeah, Port Adelaide nearly changed. Yeah, this was requested. I think there was another one. There is no other one though. Maybe it's one of these. But I think this one definitely got requested at some point. So maybe I'll do it at some point when I do find the time. But yeah, I do have a bit more time this week, I guess. But I still got other things to record. But don't worry, when the men's season comes around, you know, they'll be tipping as usual. Hopefully more live stream reactions. We'll see. It will be less than last year. But yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna fit everything around it because I still got I got more second channel videos now. But yeah, there'll still be reactions. Just don't expect too many like last year, but we will see. We will see. So yeah, I look forward to the upcoming season. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see who does what, and hopefully my team does well. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.